Virgil is.
Leaving off, Robert, last thing I wanted to talk about, we got Benavidez versus Andrade next Saturday. A lot of people kind of underestimate David. They say, they say things about David. He's a weight bully. He's only good because he's big for that size. You saw him as a 15-year-old kid sparring Kelly Pavlik when you had Pavlik.
Yes, I did.
Let the public know about Benavidez and what makes him good, what makes him scary.
You know what? That kid is. Well, I still call him kid because I know. He was coming to my gym since he was 15 and sparring with Kelly Pavlik. That just should say it all. That kid comes. When they come to my gym to spar, we have to have 5 or 6 guys lined up. Because 3 or 4 rounds, and that's all they could hang in there with him. And I gotta get in the next guy in because he goes 15 to 20 rounds sparring. So I know I've seen it, and he's unstoppable. I can't say he's unbeatable because anything could happen in boxing. And Andrade is a great fighter, great technical fighter, good speed, good footwork, good boxing skills. So it's gonna be an interesting fight. But Benavidez is one of those guys, just like I was saying about Virgil, that you gotta be so fucking good and so strong to be able to hang in there with fucking for 12 rounds, because you could win the first 10 rounds, but you still got 2 more, and that motherfucker's gonna keep coming.
A lot of people, they don't know about Benavidez. You said it, and because I've seen it myself in the gym, they don't know about his stamina, man. His stamina is crazy because he doesn't look like the kind of guy that would have a crazy stamina. You look at a guy like, I don't know, let's say Tim Bradley, right? A guy that has a badass body. Oh, that guy can fight all these rounds. Benavidez doesn't look like, he doesn't have the body that you would think like that.
But he's done it since he was a kid. He's doing it since he was 15, sparring guys like Kelly Pavlik. So
Triple G too, right?
Yeah, so that kid, so that he grew up doing that. He grew up doing so for him, 15 rounds, 12 rounds in a fight, it's nothing for him. Nothing.
Do you feel like back in the days, how they used to have the 15-round fights in the 80s? Do you feel like if they had 15-round fights today, that Benavidez would dominate way more?
He would be a perfect one for 15 rounds, definitely. No problem.
Benavidez Canelo, right? That's a fight that me and you talked about many times. All the public's talking about it. The Mexican public, Mexican American public. Is that the fight that we need?
Well, I would like to see it. I don't think, do we need it? Maybe we want to see it, but at this point, I think it's up to Canelo. If Canelo wants to do it for the fans, if he wants to do it for his people, if he wants to do it, then he doesn't have to. Canelo could say, I never want to fight him. He's still making $50 million a fight. He's still gonna become a billionaire because of all the investments he's doing back in Mexico, gas stations and everything. So he doesn't have to. He's at the point where he's the one that calls the shots. He's not chasing Benavidez. Benavidez has to chase him. And if Canelo says, I'll fight him, then the fight will happen. But if he says, I just don't feel like fighting him, Benavidez has to fight other people, and he has to do his own wins, his own fights on his own, and he's still gonna be great. He's still great. He's still making good money. But Canelo, it's up to Canelo. Whatever. I don't blame Canelo either because he's at the point where he calls the shots. He doesn't have to please the world. He doesn't have to please the crowd. He's already done whatever he wants. He's already accomplished what maybe no Mexican has ever accomplished. So he doesn't have to prove nobody.
With Canelo, right? A lot of people, he has a lot of critics, right? Or a lot of people, they want to see him take these fights, myself included. Where
I would like to see it too.
Where you have guys like Eric Morales. Eric Morales fought Barrera, and then he fought Pacquiao in back-to-back fights. And with Canelo, it doesn't seem like we get that same kind of warrior spirit of the guys of before. Do you feel like him fighting Benavidez and he beats Benavidez, that can shut everyone up? Where we're like, yo, man, Canelo, he's bad.
I think with Canelo, I don't think that's why he won't. He doesn't have to do it because nothing's gonna change. People just, I think Canelo's a great fighter. I think he's accomplished more than any Mexican has ever accomplished. But to the Mexican fans, he'll never be better than Chavez. He'll never be better than Marquez. He'll never be better than Morales or Barrera. Why? Because he's just a fighter that fights smart, is a businessman, and does what's best for him. He doesn't do it to go out there and please the fans. He doesn't go out there and get into wars where he gets dropped, he gets up and knocks his opponents out, or gets cut and goes through wars. He just doesn't do it. But business wise, he's the biggest Mexico has ever had.
But do you feel like him fighting Benavidez and him winning, what would that do for him though?
I don't think that would change. I don't think that would put him as
like David Faitelson. Will that satisfy guys like him? His critics.
Nobody's ever gonna accept him or agree that he's better than Chavez. Never. No matter what. No matter if he beats Benavidez or he beats whoever is out, he's never gonna be better than Chavez to the Mexican fans. And I don't blame them either. I agree with that too, because Chavez is Chavez. It's like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali.
No one's ever gonna be better than Muhammad Ali.
He had losses. Yeah. He lost fights. Nobody's gonna be better than Muhammad Ali because that's Muhammad Ali. It's the same thing with Chavez. In Mexico, you're never gonna get somebody better than Chavez. Never. No matter what Canelo does, he's never gonna be better than Chavez. But if you look, business wise, titles, yeah, he's accomplished more. But in the Mexican fans, he's never gonna be better than Chavez.
Last question I want to leave off with. When they bring up guys like Benavidez for Canelo or John Ennis for Crawford, people say, well, what about the resume? Who have they beat? Do you feel like that's why they fight the fights? Like Benavidez doesn't have a good resume. Ennis doesn't have a good resume, but they're worthy challengers of Canelo and Crawford. Do you feel like people should stop talking about that when guys are young and let them get a chance to prove if they're... Because if Benavidez fights Canelo and wins, then we can say, oh, Benavidez is the Mexican monster. But then if he loses,
I think he already is. He's already proved it. He's already had some great wins, and he's going to do it in his next fight. And if everything goes well, he beats Andrade and dominates and knocks him out. Then he's already proving it. But he's just the only fight that's gonna really make him and people talk, as one of the big time greats, if he beats Canelo. But I don't know. I don't even know if that's ever gonna happen.
Do you feel like that's fair though? Like a guy like Boots not getting a shot with Crawford, or a guy like Benavidez not getting a shot with Canelo. Do you feel like that's fair to them, that the older fighters should give these young guys a shot to prove if they're real or not?
Well, I would love to see those fights, but no, it's not really. They don't have to. They have to do it on their own. Crawford did it himself. He's already a 3-division champion. He's an undisputed champion at welterweight. So all these boots and all these younger guys, they have to do it just like Crawford did.
Build themselves up.
Exactly. Crawford, went through becoming a lightweight champion to a 140 pounder and then a 147 undisputed. He worked his ass off. They got to do the same. They can just do it with one fight or one win. They got to work their ass off.
All right, Robert. It was a pleasure speaking with you today.